Donald Trump just exposed himself. Not that way, gross. Let me explain. Last night, Donald Trump did a Univision town hall, and when Republican Ramiro Gonzalez expressed concerns about the fact a large part of Donald Trump's cabinet isn't supporting his bid for re-election, and also how Trump handled the attacks on January 6th, Donald Trump's answer exposed a devastating truth about his thinking that should give any patriotic American pause before voting for him.
Happened during January 6th. And the fact that, you waited so long to take action while your supporters were attacking the Capitol. And also people in your administration who don't support you.
The people that don't support a very small portion. We have a tremendous, about 97% of the people in the administration support me.
Whoa. Let's stop right there. That's the first lie. The number is 97%. It's actually closer to 50%, which, if you'll remember from high school, is what we call a failing grade. Among the former cabinet members who don't support Donald Trump becoming president again is John Bolton, his national security advisor, Dan Coats, his director of national intelligence, Mark Esper, his U.S. Secretary of Defense, John Kelly, his chief of staff and his Secretary of Homeland Security, H.R. McMaster, his national security advisor, and Mike Pence, his vice president, and Bill Barr, his attorney general. Let's throw into that mix Mark Milley, Trump's hand-picked choice for chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who not only doesn't support Donald Trump, but called him a fascist.
Mark Milley comes to mind, who, according to Bob Woodward's new book, War, called him a fascist. Would you go that far as to call him a fascist?
Look, I have tremendous respect for General Milley, and I see no reason to disagree with that assessment.
You notice something in common with most of those people? Other than Pence and Barr, they are all military or intelligence people. These are the ones who are tasked with the defense of our nation. And to a person, they see Donald Trump as big a threat to America as Eric Trump is to eating an entire box of crayons.
Believe it? They actually made fun of a Democrat. You like that, Eric?
I don't get it.
You had hundreds of thousands of people come to Washington. They didn't come because of me.
They didn't come because of Trump? You invited them!
I said peacefully and patriotically. Nothing done wrong at all. Nothing done wrong.
I said peacefully and patriotically? Sure. That's what he said. But as Trump sycophants will tell you, whenever he goes on TV and says that he wants to use the U.S. military to go after people who have criticized him, you can't always believe what Trump says.
He was talking about sick people, radical left lunatics who should be handled by the National Guard or the military. And then later on in that same speech, he said that one of the lunatics he addressed was Congressman Adam Schiff. That's who he was talking about using the National Guard and military against, radical left lunatics, enemy from within, people like Adam Schiff.
Again, Jake, I don't think that and again, I can't.
I'm just reading
I can't
his
speak
quotes.
for him. But I do think that you are misinterpreting and misrepresenting his thoughts.
It's like when a mafioso goes into a restaurant and says, "Nice place, it would be a shame if something happened to it." They're not really expressing concern that nothing bad happens to the place. You get that, right?
You've got a nice army base there, Colonel.
Yes.
We wouldn't want anything to happen to it.
No, what my brother means is it would be a shame if sorry, Colonel.
Okay, maybe you don't believe me. Maybe you think that Trump didn't invite them and wasn't eating hamburgers while he gleefully watched the violence on TV. Let's see how Donald Trump thinks about the violent January 6th protesters.
On there, we didn't have guns. The others had guns, but we didn't have guns. And
we didn't have guns. The others had guns. Donald Trump and what's left of his tapioca brain just used the word "we" to describe the people who attacked the Capitol and the others to describe the people who defended it. That's not just a slip. That's how he sees it. He's on the side of the people who attacked the Capitol. Whether or not he invited them, whether or not he meant it when he said peacefully and patriotically, at the end of the day, after all the damage caused, both physically and philosophically to our country, Donald Trump sides with the attackers and not the defenders. We. After all the transphobia that MAGA has fire-hosed out into the world, I guess it's somehow fitting that the clue that best exposes Donald Trump as the traitor that he is would be a pronoun.